Welcome to the OK Taco stock tip of the day.
Yeah. Stock tips.
Stock tips on the OK Taco show.
From the OK Taco show. Since in between selling tacos and working events,
Yep.
we've become pros in day trading.
We're day traders now,
Yeah,
guys.
we're day traders.
Yep. We've been day trading for about 5 months now.
I've been 5 days. I'm a professional.
Yeah.
Listen to me.
We took all of our holdings
All of it.
out of raw material.
We took all of our stocks out of OK Taco Company.
We invested in, stupidly,
Yeah.
I'll admit it, invested in an adult video company.
Yeah, you did.
I did not know that was what their, because
No,
the name was misleading.
Yeah, he was thinking he was getting the superhero game because it was called X-Men.
Yep. And it was not,
It was not
Superheroes.
superheroes. Well,
depending. They're real life superheroes. And since I bought 13,000 shares, because they were a penny a share,
yep.
I've lost
All
of it.
All of it.
It's down to 0.001 cent a share
Yeah.
right
I
now.
don't even know how they can call that I don't know how they're trading.
I don't either. And I'm waiting for it to go back up. I thought this new bill would bring it back up.
Didn't.
Was not related at all to the X-Men
film industry.
franchise. So we're starting up a food, what is that called when you donate food? A food pantry.
Pantry
Yeah, we're doing a food pantry just to get by,
for squirrels.
and hopefully this will go back up and I can get my money back.
Yeah.
But
You got any sort of corn, old corn, rotten corn?
that would help, guys.
Donate that. Squirrels will eat it, and so we get paid
Annually,
annually.
our annual report. So that's what's going on here.
I don't know. I think your stock's going to come back, dude. They
don't
hired
know.
that one actor. What was his name? Richard Tickler? Something like that.
Yeah.
And,
I got all the big guys on the case.
Yeah.
For
I
sure.
think it'll come back.
Some legendary people have spoke out about the company and trying to get it back on the front page of the traders, the Mad Moneys, and
Yeah.
Market Watch and all that stuff. So hopefully we can get back into it.
I don't know if
Hoping.
it'll make it, but I have faith, like George Michael used to say.
I invested in them too and lost a lot back then.
Yeah, in Wham.
Yeah, I lost about $1,600. And it was a merch deal.
Well, you were trying to get into Wham Sham
ShamWow. I thought it was
ShamWow.
the same thing.
And it was the same letters, and it gets confusing. And he actually put most of his money into Wham, the band.
Yeah, I'm dyslexic.
Yeah,
So, lost out on that.
he's Richard Lexick.
And I've just
Lexington.
been, I've been mainly searching for Boston-based
Yeah,
companies.
Boston baked beans, Boston fruit,
Hmm.
lobster rolls, Boston Gardens.
Yeah, I got into crabbing for about a month.
Yeah,
That was a mistake. I don't know anything about crabbing. I just know people love butter. And they love crab meat
They love it.
and butter.
I love that.
Should have gotten butter. But it was a tumultuous time in the market
Yeah.
with the butter industry.
Well, you can't get married to anything. That's your first
Yeah.
troubles. That's the first Bruce hurdle you need to get over.
I know, buddy.
Is when you look at a company you like it so bad, you get tied to your company so good, and you can't.
I learned a lot about them.
You gotta use them like they use you. That's the first thing you gotta know. You gotta get in, get out.
Yeah, if you're
What are
day
you
trading,
doing?
you don't stay with the same.
No, it's a different company every day. Most
Yeah,
of it.
you don't
Sometimes
fall
you
in
can-
love.
Sometimes you can ride a week on the same guy if it's up and down and up and down. If the market like it is now is real choppy.
Yeah. It's a one night stand kind of deal, or 1 day stand.
Yeah.
Don't
and
fall in love with
you
this.
Lose
Kiss
the
it,
number. Yep.
but not on the mouth.
Not on the mouth. Monkeypox. It's a thing.
It's a thing,
You
baby.
gotta watch out for it.
There was a woman that was in I don't know where the penitentiary was. For the sake of this story, we'll say
Baton Rouge.
Louisiana is what
Yeah.
I was going to say. So she went down to visit her longtime boyfriend.
Okay.
She's 31 years old,
Hot.
beautiful woman, and she went there to talk to him about what's going on in life while he's locked up. He's serving a 9-year prison sentence.
That's a pretty good stint
Yeah.
down in Louisiana. It's hot. You think it's hot here, bud?
Oh, it's
You go
humid
down-
down. It's a wet heat down there.
You go down there. That's hot. That's crabbing weather.
And she came in there. They talked about family. They talked about their future. They talked about what marriage.
Kids.
And before she left, she smooched up on him.
Nice.
Because there's some levels of, especially when they're talking about drug penalties, you can go in there and see your boo. You don't have to get behind the plexiglass.
Sure, you can pass heroin through your mouth.
Yep. So she gave him a kiss, little smooch, tongues and everything, and then
Was there video of it?
so probably like a French Quarter kiss. Video of it, and she slipped the dude a little bit of a balloon filled with meth.
Oh, meth. I didn't think of that. Yeah,
Methamphetamine's in a
easy.
balloon.
That's easier to pack in
Or
a
a water balloon.
Yeah, than that heroin. It gets sticky.
But she did not double balloon it.
Oh, no.
He swallowed it
Oh, boy.
because he's going to try to get it later.
Yep. Fish it out.
And
That's the fisherman's wharf.
apparently the balloon
Burst.
got punctured in him
Yep.
at some point, and he died of an overdose of methamphetamine.
Well, I guess.
What got him there?
Guess what? He got out early.
Yeah. And I don't even know if they had life insurance or a living will or
No,
anything.
if you get in jail, you can't. Here's a couple things when you go in jail. And you guys need to know this. Some of you are heathens. Number one, lose your right to vote. And if you watched your last
That's the
yesterday's
most
show,
important right you
that's
have.
the most important right you have. So
Yeah.
you lose that right away. That's out. Number two, there is no such thing as life insurance. Okay? Epstein didn't have it. He died in prison. There's a
Nope.
lot of famous people that's died in prison.
Unless
okay?
you're talking about whole life. And I'm glad you're here. I wanted to talk to you about whole life.
If it covers me in prison, I'm buying.
Oh, it does. That's
Okay.
what OJ used when he was in prison.
I'm in.
He had a whole life policy. Nicole did not. She,
Nope.
no, she didn't.
She got the wrong end of a knife, dude.
Yeah, she
And-
had a half-life policy.
Yep, half-life.
Term life.
She overdosed on methamphetamines
Yeah, she did.
in the shape of a knife.
Yeah, it was a methamphetamine type
Knife.
overdose
Yeah.
with a knife shaped. But yeah, with whole life you can.
Right.
And so what whole life is imagine all your mistakes and all
I can't.
in all of your
I've
life,
had so many. I can't go back that far.
and imagine being insured on all those.
All those?
Yeah.
Ooh, I'd be sitting pretty.
There's something to do with it too, where
Oops, all monkeypox.
it's like
Insurance.
oops all money. You say I'm going to give you $7,000 a year,
Yeah.
and at the end of my life, I
Yeah.
get 500,000 or $1 million.
Well, that's great.
depending on the policy.
That's great.
Okay, but then check this out. Say 10 years from now, you say, "Oh, I want a lake house," and they're like, "How much money do you have?" And you say,
None.
None.
Unless I die.
I work at AutoZone. I don't have
I only make $93,000 a year.
I have
and I can't live on that.
about 1,300 and wrapped up in an X-Men investment I did.
Your mistake. That should
Yeah.
cover that.
But they'll say, "Well, oh wait, you have a whole life policy. You can just borrow from that." So you borrow from your policy. So if your policy is $1 million, you want a lake house, I'll take 200,000 out. Now when I die, I only get 800,000.
Yeah, smart.
But you can just use money you never had as long as you continue to pay into it. That's what OJ did. The juice. And then
Smart.
take that, invest it.
Yes, because why not? Invest it in
You're using
X-Men.
dead money to invest in
You're
live
using
money.
your dead money to invest.
It's an important
Hey, and by
skill.
the way, why isn't everybody doing that? Because if
It's
you're telling
confusing.
me right now,
Yeah,
at this moment,
it's magic moment.
that I can pay some agency $500 a month.
Asian has nothing to do with it.
No, I said agent.
Oh, agent.
with a
I got
T.
you. I'm sorry.
Hard T. C.
Sorry.
TC.
That's my fault.
And if everybody walking around on the planet right now is worth $1 million,
Mm-hmm.
and it costs you $7,000 a year for that policy,
Yeah.
and you got in for your 7,000
7K.
that year, you said, "Hey, I'm paying for the year. Here's 7K."
Well, I paid.
Now-
Let's just say I paid for 10 years. That's 70,000.
Yeah. Now I want to cash out 700,000
Yeah.
because I only need $200,000 when I die. That's enough for a casket, and to get burnt.
Right.
So I'm going to spend the 70. I'm going to Vegas.
Yeah.
Can you get it in cash, or do you have to have some sort of investment?
You get in cash. Bitcoin, cash.
Well, I know what I'm doing tomorrow.
Yeah, just call an agent, dude. I know one at Nationwide. He's good.
Are you in on it?
No, I didn't do it because somebody talked me out of it. They said,
Don't do that.
don't do it. You know, they said if you invest
You're
in,
losing money.
you're losing money, and two, just invest if you're going to spend $6,000 a year, whatever it is,
Yeah, just
whatever they were telling me I had to
Just
spend.
invested it in
Just invest it
fruit.
in a mutual thing, a retirement,
Yeah.
and then you'll make more doing that.
No, that's
and I
wrong.
said, well, but I can't take it out ever.
And
you know?
on top of that, I can't take out more than I've put in.
Well, if you've ever been like me, and I've invested for the past 10 years.
You
I
have.
have no idea where it's at. I have no idea how to get it.
You are one rich man because you set it and forget it. That's what they tell you to do.
Yep,
Now,
I have.
when you die and your lovely wife or kids get in that satchel, guess what they're going to have? Upwards of $50.
Well, the problem is they don't know that I have it.
Oh, well, don't be dad. Don't be dad. My
gonna be
dad
the
hid
issue.
stuff everywhere, but my dad needed it at the end of his life, so he cashed out everything, lost half of it to cash it out because
Yeah.
they said, oh, well, you need this. Well, you're 80-some years old and you never spent it.
Yeah.
So he cashed it out, and he lost 50% of what he put in, so he probably lost, $18 million.
Yeah.
And he also had small investments everywhere,
Sure.
but he never told anybody. So we don't know where they're at. Somebody gained money. Someone's got it. Someone's sitting on it. Someone got the obituaries like, this guy's dead. Let's wait a few months and spend it.
I don't know. I don't know the best way. I put the map, I got a map that tells people to not bury me because the map's on my
Yeah.
body.
Yeah,
So
I
there's
know.
2 maps.
I got your tattoos.
Yeah.
I got your location
And there's passwords.
of the tattoos, not of the items you hid.
Yeah.
The chess pieces.
So
I
once
saw you carve them, and they're nice.
once you get the passwords that are carved into my body, you'll use those to find the other maps. And those maps should take you to the right account, which has more passwords,
Right.
which will be hidden on medallions buried amongst my many properties.
Yes.
So once you collect 4 medallions,
4.
that will give you a complete password to my
It's got
Vanguard
the
account.
elements on each 4. It's got water and
Yeah,
air,
hydrogen.
fire,
and hydrogen.
and hydrogen. The
So
4
the
elements.
4 elements you need to live.
And they're all gold, which is also another element.
Yeah,
Except for
they're
that
on
one.
gold.
One's bronze,
Yeah.
one's silver,
One's
one's
plated.
platinum.
Yeah. And that was just because it was cheaper at
yeah,
that
it was
time.
cheaper.
And I
We
got a
didn't
carbon
have the money.
fiber one that just never looked right, so I threw it away.
Yeah, because you try to carve it.
Yeah.
There's not a knife that'll cut carbon
No,
fiber.
I used whatever that little thing is you buy,
Spark
like
plug.
a Dremel.
Oh, a Dremel, yeah.
I tried to carve it in there, but I
won't
don't
do it. Yeah, won't do
I
it.
don't have the skills. I didn't have the right glasses.
Yeah, you gotta get those magnifying.
Yeah, and I just, I tried to carve in 4 digits, one of them uppercase. It never looked right.
Yeah.
So, but if you
Sorry.
find the medallions I did get out there, professionally done,
Yeah.
clear to read.
Probably won't. What I didn't understand when you did that is I have to be in possession with an Enigma machine, which none of them exist except for like in the Smithsonian. So I'll have to break into the Smithsonian, steal the Enigma machine,
Yep,
to find the medallions to find your treasure.
that's right. It's not going to be easy, but nothing ever is that's worth it. That's what they say.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I know what you hid. You hid like some Go-Gurt. I mean, it's not much. It's not worth the trouble, dude.
well, no, that's
You know?
yeah, but it lasts a while.
I mean, it's fun.
expiration
it's fun.
date.
Ooh, look, he left me a half tub of cottage cheese. That's
There's like
awesome.
some canned goods in there, dude. There's some peaches.
Oh,
and-
you've got
Yeah.
tornado bait snacks along the way. So
Yeah.
you don't get hungry hunting the treasure, and I appreciate that. But once you get to the end, it's like
Another password, dude, and
come on,
another
dude. Yeah.
another hunt.
I'm in on the insurance. I think we should do it. If we both got into $1 million policy, we just pay whatever. What's the monthly cost on that? If it's $7,000 a year,
Well, then you're $680, $620 a month, bud.
that doesn't seem like a lot to pay to have access.
To money? I
To
know.
$1 million.
It was confusing to me.
It's confusing.
Yeah. And I sat for 3 hours talking with the woman that was trying to sell me on it, and the first hour was trying to
figure out what insurance was. You know what I mean? What is this?
what
is
can
it?
I not do? And apparently you can do anything, because that was where OJ got brought up.
Wow.
And was used in a positive example.
Yeah, did he cash it out while he was in jail, is what you're saying? To cover all of his stuff?
Mm-hmm.
So that when he got out, hey, guess what? I'm just going right back to the home that I couldn't afford.
That's why he's golfing. I mean, people look at it, that and the NFLPA,
Yeah.
because they got to still pay him. Doesn't matter they went to prison. Half those people have went to prison.
True.
That are in the NFL. So you got to pay him. So he's making good money between the two. And then he's got a little bit of investments that he used his insurance money to invest in. You use whatever you want. It's your money.
That's true. It's your death money. It's your dead money.
Mm-hmm.
And that's smart.
Rather give it to your family.
That's seriously really smart, because you can't take it with you, so you might as well enjoy it now. So if there's an insurance company that's out there that's going to give you $1 million, you can use all of it before you're dead. Then when you cash in that policy, oops, no policy. Well,
there might be a little left, like you said, for snacks at the funeral.
turning and burning.
Yeah. If you guys are, if anybody watching is an insurance salesman,
Yeah, reach out.
and knows anything about whole life policies, reach
it
out
covers
to
you
us.
for your whole life, and you can use it
Reach out to us.
in your life. So whether you want to use it when you're alive or dead, your choice. And that's how insurance should work, really.
Yeah. But let us know.
I'm going to give you $600, and what I want in return is $700,000, and I get to spend it.
And they'll say, done.
No problem.
We can do that. We can do that for sure. And if that's true, we're the dummies,
Sign
bud.
here.
We're the dummies for not doing it.
Yeah,
You know what I
because
mean?
I tell you what, I could have bought this place, and if you're telling me I only had
Cash.
to cash, I could have bought it cash, probably cheaper than I bought it for, because I had mountains, suitcases of money. And then you're telling me all I have to do is just keep up with my life policy.
Yeah, just keep up with it.
So that's $600. That's a lot less than I'm paying on my mortgage.
Yep.
So that's good. Now you got more money to live on, because you're not paying, you're only paying like half a mortgage. Now you have to pay it for the rest of your life, maybe.
Yeah, but what's the rest of anybody's life, It's
Yeah, I
same
can go
thing.
tomorrow. Now I got to, hey, oops, free farm.
Yeah, it's already paid for, bud. And I don't know what the deal is on that. Like, there must be certain levels where you can take out a certain amount, because otherwise you just take it out and be like, I'm not going to pay for this policy anymore.
No, I'm going to take it out, and guess what? It's spent. I took one trip to Vegas, like that basketball star, where all he did was drugs and had the company of a whole fleet of ladies, and did that for a few weeks, overdosed a couple times, because he thought, well, that's a good way to go. Lived through it,
Yeah.
and oops, didn't have to pay it back. So
I think the thing that we're going to have to start with is, what is the cash value of money?
yeah, what's money worth?
First, what's money?
Yeah, what is that? Let's start there.
Start there. And then what's cash?
Right.
And then how does that compare to what money is?
Is change actually going to be gone first?
Is it going to be worth more because they're taking it away?
Because there's a lot of places that we go, mostly casinos, that still aren't given change, because there's still, I guess, a change shortage.
Well,
is that right?
Anytime you give somebody change, like if you go to a car wash or you go to, it used to be the proprietors of that business would take the change, take it to the bank. The bank would then sort it.
Yep.
And then give you cash for that change.
Yeah.
Now you take it to the bank, they sort it, they give you your cash, and they take that money and they throw it away.
They just throw it away.
Yeah. So there's going to be no change. So if you have a change bucket, keep it.
Yeah.
Because all of that stuff is going to be worth billions.
Yeah.
In the future. That's the cash value of money.
We found it. It's in change. So if you've got a little bit of savings account, get it out.
Get it out.
Go buy change.
Please.
Loose change.
If you
Walk
can.
up to somebody and say, hey, you got any change?
I'll trade you a 20 for this nickel. That's a good investment.
That's a good investment.
That's a good investment. If you have a $20 bill, you know what? That's worth nothing.
Nothing.
You know what a nickel's worth? The future.
Everything.
The future. So, anyways,
That's stock advice.
That's okay.
That's our
Tacos.
That's our stock advice. Buy change
Buy change.
and buy medium. Don't buy low. Buy medium,
Yes.
and then
Sell
watch
medium.
it drop.
Buy medium, sell medium.
Yeah. Stay the same spot.
Yep. You'll never lose.
Never lose. And vote.
And vote. So thank you guys for watching. One thing I watched last night was a little.
M. Shyamalan?
You watched that.
I did.
What was that called?
Old. Because I am old. I'm like, hey, finally
Right.
something I can
Relate to.
relate to. And it was about people that
On an island.
On an island. I'm not going to give too much away. But the best part of the whole show is 15 minutes in, where there was a guy that was a famous rap artist, star, that was also on the beach, just trying to get away,
Like rappers do.
just trying to reset, a little bit. What was his name? Mid-size van. That was his rap name, which I paused it, laughed,
Yeah.
thought about texting him.
Yeah. The
but
album.
I got a phone call from Buddy Eric, and I said I answered the phone as Mid-size Van because that's now my rap name.
It's a great rap name.
Perfect rap
And this
name.
gentleman looked like you, a Eminem rapper or
No.
a 50 Cent rapper?
50 Cent rapper, but come to find out, the reason why this vacation spot, which is a paradise, it's nice. It looks like somewhere in Hawaii. Palm trees,
Yeah.
pools, free food and beverage, everything, everything good. But then the owner would swoop by and say, hey, I liked you guys that you got here. You're awesome. There's a private beach. There's a van leaving to a private beach. You'd be the only ones out there. And it is worth it. It's beautiful. It's the most beautiful view you'll ever see. And we'll send you out there if you don't know what to do today. And so they did. And now they're on a beach that ages you like 3 years an hour or 5 years an hour. I can't remember what the math was.
So you get there.
You get there, and all of a sudden, all the kids are
2 p.m. and then.
yeah, the kids turn into teenagers by 2 hours. Yeah,
yeah.
a couple hours later, and everybody's like, "What's going on?" And then they start looking at themselves like, "Oh, I got wrinkles," and other stuff. I'm not going to give it away. I'm not. That's the premise. Everybody gets old on this beach. Because come to find out, it's not just a family. It's not just a mom, dad, and 2 kids.
Is it a movie?
Yeah, it's a movie.
So there's an ending within an hour or two. I mean,
Yeah, it's not. It's
you don't have to sit there and watch 50 seasons of this.
No, it's not a series. It's just one movie, hour and a half. And I don't suggest it. I suggest.
You like M. Night Shyamalan, though.
Well, I don't
You like
really.
Sixth Sense a lot.
It was okay. I really like The Village, but other than that, none of his other films have been
Yeah,
close.
Schindler's List was good,
That was good.
but no spoilers on that either, guys.
No spoilers.
I watched a show that's on Hulu. It is, and I don't even have.
How do you spell that?
I don't even have Hulu Plus. I just have regular Hulu. So because I like the ads. And it was called The Resort. And my wife, we were watching a movie that has. Remember the show Workaholics? It was on Comedy Central.
Vaguely, yeah.
It's a stoner comedy, but basically 3 guys work in a call center and they smoke and rip bongs all day, rip glass pieces, I think.
Yeah.
And then they don't do anything and it's all about them jacking around at work, and it's funny and people like it. They all live together. They do poop dollar, put a poop on a dollar and have runners come by and see if they'll grab the dollar even though it's got poop in it. Fun stuff like that. Well, the main guy, Adam Carolla, that was from Workaholics, he was the star of this other movie where he was addicted to his cell phone, had no real friends, so he'd just sit there on his phone all day. That was his whole purpose in life. Had a job, but it was related to him doing stuff on his phone. Everything was phone. Well, he's walking around looking on his phone, hits a chick, that's walking out of a bicycle shop.
Yeah.
Drops his phone, breaks his phone, has to get a new phone. This is the worst day of his life. His phone's broken. Hot chick that was hitting on him, doesn't care. because of the phone. You
Right.
know, goes and gets a new phone, finds out, programs and stuff in there. Do you want to transfer all your stuff from the cloud? All this stuff. Yeah, I do. And it's like called Jexy or something. So he's like, yeah, Jexy, send it over. Do you want to read the user agreement? No, I'll accept it. I don't need to read that. Well, the user agreement said that this AI now has you can't tell it what to do because you signed the user agreement.
Oh,
you gave
burn.
all power of
Burn.
attorney
Nailed
to this.
you. Yep, that's
So
how
you
they
gotta read
get
your
you.
user agreement, and
That's a real life story. They'll get you.
that's about where my wife said, this is ridiculous, this is stupid, can we turn it? And so we turned it to a different show. But I am going to go back to that one because I said I got to see where this
This is.
it's riveting.
Well,
you know?
yeah. This is.
Because I don't know if he sees dead people. It's much like M. Night Shyamalan. It's riveting.
It's 90% of America anyway. So
Yeah.
I got to figure out what those guys and gals that are like this on their phone is thinking.
Well-
or what the phone is thinking for them, so I can kind of
And the
somehow
phone had
try
like
to communicate.
It had like a dirty mouth. So it was a phone you couldn't turn it on silent. You couldn't do
Sure.
any of this stuff because
Eat it, Al. They
it
say
would-
stuff like that.
Now you would think break the phone, hit it with a hammer.
Oh yeah, but you can't. That's in the agreement. You can't destroy it.
So he didn't even try that. He's just carrying it around, being irritated that, it's calling him dirty names and
Yeah.
stuff and saying, you wussy, turn left here. And it's like, I can't. There's 17 lanes of traffic.
Yeah.
Oh, turn left, you wussy.
Run over 'em,
Fun
you
stuff
know?
like that.
Yeah.
And then he follows the orders because he's addicted to the phone. It's got Wanda Sykes in it, which is a plus for me.
Super plus. Wanda is great.
She's great, dude. And so, anyways, we turned it, and I put that on my old bookmark. I'll finish that
Good
later.
job, dude. Well, I'm gonna tell you something that you should look forward to.
Have you seen it?
What?
The movie?
No.
Oh.
What movie? The one I'm getting ready to tell you?
I guess so. I gotta look forward to it.
Tim Burton's coming back, dude. Timmy.
Nightmare Before Christmas?
Timmy Burton's coming back, and it's all about Wednesday.
Oh. Addams Family?
All about Wednesday.
Are we done with that, dude? I'm so done with the Addams Family.
Yeah.
Dun-dun-dun-dun.
Yeah, well, it's just about
Da-da-da.
Wednesday, though. Because if you remember, Wednesday was at that age where she was getting ready to start high school.
Yeah.
And so you catch up with her while she's getting ready to go to high school, and boom,
She's in high school.
high school dude. So now you just got Wednesday walking in and stuff.
It's like Euphoria, but with Addams
You know.
Family.
Yeah, it's kind of like, what was that M. Night Shyamalan vampire movie that everybody likes so bad?
Walking Dead.
That's it. Walking Dead. It's like that, but with Wednesday from the Addams Family.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a mixture between Saved by the Bell,
Yeah.
And
the
the
college years.
high school years,
High school years.
the OG,
Okay.
the OG, and Addams Family, but not with everybody. Just with Wednesday. I mean, they show everybody somewhat because she still lives in the spooky house going to high school.
Yeah. Well, I am looking forward to that.
Yeah, look forward to it.
Because
Bookmark
what I ended up doing was turning it onto season, I guess, the episodic adventure of a show called The Resort.
it. Okay.
My wife said, this looks good. This might be like some other show. She used a comparable. Remember when we liked that other show? This might be like it.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
I remember that other show.
So I turned this on. Okay, The Resort. All right. First of all, it's a married couple that's on their 10-year wedding anniversary.
Okay. Mistake.
And they went to some like Cancun resort, Mexico resort. That's where they're going to celebrate their 10-year anniversary.
Yeah.
The woman not happy with the marriage. She's sad, depressed, doesn't want to be. There's no kids. She is a Caucasian woman. The gentleman that she's married to is African American.
Right.
Which I thought that's pretty cool because I didn't even know that was legal 10 years ago.
He looks like mid-sized van.
But that was legal 10 years ago.
Yeah.
To do that. And that's awesome. And nobody really questioned it in this movie either, which I thought was great. There was nobody like
That's
off
good.
camera going, what is this
What is-
about?
huh?
You can't do this. And that's smart because
Yeah.
it should be
That's the way it is
normal.
today. Yeah.
And so they go down there, and she's sad. Like hey, do you want to go? There's plenty of restaurants. You want to go? It's all
Go
included.
grab something to
Let's go get
eat.
something to eat. She's like, I don't. And it's always like her moping around. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know,
So you can really relate.
Yeah.
Is what I'm saying.
I'm relating to it, and my wife's relating to it really.
Yeah, really. And now I'm in.
Yeah. And this lady, you know, she's drinking too much. She's overindulgent in the resort. But so's her husband. They're having a good time. But then he's trying to be like, hey, can I get in the shower with you? No, I'm about done. You know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
No intimacy.
No.
And
Well,
so
they've been married for 10 years. What do you expect?
what happens, bud, is they go on an ATV adventure.
Oh,
'Cause
right.
you can do that in Cancun. You can
Sure
rent
can.
an ATV. He's like, I surprised you were going on this ATV adventure.
Yeah.
And so each one has their own Can-Am ATV, and they're zipping around this trail, you know, following the leader.
Does it have a bar? Does it have a regular, like a bar on it?
Like
know?
to drink.
Yeah, you don't have the little hotel bar?
She had a few cocktail weenies in her pocket,
Oh,
a
okay.
few
I got
shooters.
you. Yeah, shooters. Gotta
And
have
so
them.
she shoot him back, and she's in a bad mood. And but then all of a sudden, because when you're ATVing,
You start getting happy.
I get a little thrill. So she starts getting a little thrill, a little smile. She's got the stupid open-faced helmet. Smile, smile, smile. Woo, I'm trying to catch you. Gets around, no training. You don't train in Mexico to
No.
ATV.
Uh-uh.
Gets around a corner, loses control, hits a tree, flips down into the jungle down there in Mexico, Mexican Mayan
A
jungle.
lot of jungles in
And she's
Mexico.
laying down there. They're all tearing up the trail. So she's laying down there about 10 minutes. Looks over, cell phone, an old cell phone, flip phone, Motorola. Like dirty, covered in, it's laying there. Well, she's white, so she's curious. Because she's the white woman,
Yeah.
Caucasian. She grabs the phone, because she's a thief.
Still works.
Doesn't work, but grabs it. Okay.
Weird.
And then the husband comes back, oh my God, are you all right? She's like, got a bloody, and I'm
Yeah.
fine, I'm fine.
I'm fine. I hate you.
Too
though.
drunk for it
I
to
hate
hurt.
you. Yeah.
I hate you, and
I
I
hate
can't kiss you. Go back to the hotel. She runs over to the bartering village. If you've ever been to Cancun, there's a whole village of bartering.
Yeah, it's open air.
Open air village.
Open air bartering.
And so she goes in there to this gypsy who sells flip phones
Right.
for the drug cartel or whatever. Says, I have this phone. I need one like it to see if I can get the SIM card to work. She gets it. Now she's just flipping through this guy's life.
Oh,
You know, 'cause
wow.
she figures out. So now, because she is a white woman, the only thing that will inspire one is a true crime scenario
Yeah, or murder.
or murder. So she starts reading through this guy's text messages, reading through this
Yeah.
guy's pictures, reading what's going on, and then trying to figure out,
Who done it?
well, did he get murdered? Because
yeah.
at the same time, a hurricane come through
Oh, dude.
and wiped out this place.
So
But
you
was
said
he
it's
dead?
Cancun or Louisiana?
It was Cancun, but
Okay.
but shot in Louisiana.
Oh, so the hurricane came through in Louisiana before he went to Cancun.
Yeah, good barbecue.
Oh, we don't know. We don't know how the
We don't
phone
know.
even got there.
Well, that's what's the funny. That's the mystery
Wow.
here. So now this woman who's on a vacation, she's hiding from her husband. She's sneaking out at night
To figure out.
to figure out the crime
Yeah.
that may or may not have happened to this spring breaker.
Oh, she
handsome,
found-
and she's in
okay.
love with him. She falls in love with the pictures.
Yeah. Well, I would
So
too.
she's in love with this white gentleman.
Well, wrong.
Yep. And so she is like looking through the pictures, and you could see they were trying to make it seem like she's fallen in love with the pictures.
Yeah.
Like, oh, he's taking a picture of his feet. You know.
Right.
Yeah, that's cute.
Oh, toe ring.
And that's what white women like. They're like,
Oh, they love
because
that.
it's a mystery.
It's a
I
mystery.
could marry this guy. I could be with this guy.
Yeah.
It's a mystery. And
Would he love me?
so here's the problem.
I don't
though.
know. Mystery.
When Antonio,
Banderas?
her husband Antonio, when he comes in to offer his assistance in the shower.
They call him Anthony or Al, right?
Yeah, AI, AT.
Okay.
Sometimes they call him AT or AR. So he goes in there and says, babe, I can come in the shower. We can go eat. She's like, no, I'm done. He walks over to the bag where he finds the
Phone.
muddy phone.
Yep.
Well,
Where did this come from?
Goes to dinner, puts it on the table.
What is this?
Tell me about this.
Drug
She's like,
phone?
what, you think I'm cheating on you? He's like,
No.
they're married 10 years. Like, no, but
I don't care,
are you?
but-
Like, I don't care.
I don't
10
care
years.
if you are. There's
Just
a
tell
muddy-
me.
There's a
but
muddy phone.
There's a muddy phone. She's like,
Yeah.
you think that's interesting? Look at this phone. And then she pulls out that phone, right?
Oh, the new one.
The new one.
That she
It's
got in the
now,
open air market.
She's like, this is what I want to do on our vacation. I want to solve this murder. And he's like, okay. Not like, what are you talking
What
about?
are you-
Turn the phone in, and who cares? This was 15 years ago that this
No one
happened.
cares.
No one. And by the way, Had he been murdered 15 years ago?
Yes.
No one cares.
No one cared.
It was
then.
in Mexico.
Yes. You know how many people die in Mexico for murders? Like all of them.
Everybody.
Every day.
Everybody. And guess what? You don't go ask questions.
No. And you know what you can't do in Mexico? Vote.
So what happened is he thinks this is a way for me to reconnect with my wife.
Yeah.
We're going to be, Sherlock Holmes here.
Yeah.
And we're going to spend our vacation rather than getting on a donkey and riding down a canyon
or showering together
and
grabbing
Mai Tais and getting on knee boards and
hula hoop contests,
scuba diving. Oh no, we'll forget cave hunting and Mayan ruins. We'll forget that.
Yeah.
What we'll do is face up two civilians. That's not like they have a some sort of degree in intelligence from the States, and they're bringing it down here.
They didn't draw that turtle and become a private investigator.
No, it's just two dummies. It'd be like if me and Heather were like, let's do this. Let's solve a real life crime that was lost in the jungle using just this cell phone.
Hey, your wife would love that.
And then as they started getting
your
more,
wife would love
every wife would love
that. I know,
that.
my wife would love it.
Fuck yes,
she
they
just
would.
heard us right now. She's gone.
And so instead of just leaving a cell phone, okay, now they have a cell phone. Now they're going around asking questions. And it doesn't take them long to start. You're talking about one episode. In 20 minutes, they've asked the right questions to unlock different levels of who they're talking to.
Drug cartel.
No, of course it's a drug cartel.
Of course it is.
That runs the whole thing, The
whole city.
There's some dude that's talking about you don't mess with the three-headed yellow snake and all this stuff. And then he pulls up. It's like, what is this? What is the three-headed yellow snake? And some gardener pulls his underwear up and is like, it owns everything. Three-headed yellow snake's fashion.
One.
Tourism. It's something else. It's got three things.
Right.
And it's all wrapped up. But if you mess with it, it will bite you. It will bite you.
It bit that guy.
I turned it off after that because my wife had been asleep for a while.
Well, she was dreaming about solving murders, dude.
Yeah, she was dreaming about Antonio and letting him in the shower.
And his ring toes.
So, I'd say I will recommend it. I give it three free stocks.
Snakes? 3 snakes?
3 free stocks of the day.
Okay.
Out of 5, but only because watch it and be like, this. There's no point of this show continuing. It's much like the other show. Break the phone, movie's over.
Yeah.
This one is, you found a phone. Hand it to the gentleman that led the ATV and say, I found this in the jungle when I wrecked.
Don't know whose it is.
Don't know whose it is.
He turns it in for $5.
Nobody gives a crap.
Episode's over.
Show over.
Yeah.
Enjoy your vacation.
That's the new thing because I kind of started another one because that first one was somewhat trash other than the first 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And in the first one, the wife was leaving the dad, the guy.
Yeah.
Second one, the wife was leaving the guy. So it was, I think that's the new thing. And it's not really new. Women leave men 85% of the time in divorce. Women do the leaving.
Yes.
So
they keep the house, but they leave.
They keep everything, bud, and they leave. So, and I guess that's why marriage is down 45%.
Yeah.
And if you want to change that, vote.
Please.
So, guys are not liking the idea of finding muddy phones and solving crimes, or going to a haunted beach, or having the whole world get destroyed by trees. So, and they're in relationships, and none of the women like them, much like in real life. And so,
Well, can you imagine? You've lived in Mexico, but have you been to Cancun?
I will not go to Cancun.
Okay.
No.
Well, here's what happens in Cancun. You are a tourist. They sit you in your hotel, and they pretty much give you like a shoulder shrug and a wink saying, stay here. Do not leave
here. Yeah.
Unless it's on an armed guided tour with somebody through the hotel. Do not accept anything on the beach. Do not do anything like, hey, we're going to take this trip to the Mayan temples, and it's $1 instead of the 40 through the hotel. Hotel only. Do not do anything.
Don't go anywhere.
This woman goes to the gypsies, buys the phone, loves this, falls in love with this kid. The same night, she gets an Uber, a Mexican
Oh,
Uber,
no.
a Moober, and she says, "Do you know where this?" Because this guy had where the resort he was in. Do you know where this is at? It's like, yeah,
Yep.
Ocean Ridge or whatever.
Right.
Get in, takes her over to this.
Head off.
It's already got gates around it because
She's
it's
dead.
closed because, the hurricane ruined it. It's like, yeah, everybody died in this resort. It's closed and the whole thing's destroyed. I mean, and she's like trying to climb the fence to go look. It's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You are a 36-year-old
There's skitters.
accountant.
Yeah, there's skitters in there.
Oh, there's skitters in
so
there.
many skitters in there. And they'll get you.
That's so ballsy. I was in Cancun. You do not want to leave.
Yeah,
Like
there's-
your resort.
There's two types of Americans that are not Mexican Americans.
Mm-hmm.
So, for this study, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to exclude all of our wonderful Mexican American friends.
Yes.
You're excluded. But you'll agree with the next thing I want to say. White, especially white people, or any race
Right.
that's not Mexican Americans, there's two types. There's the type, Cancun type, and they love it. They like to go sit in other people's PP and drink free drinks.
Yes.
And stay at their little hotel and
Mhm.
play their little games, their hula hoop games and the cornhole, and it's set up for all the whiteys, right?
Yes.
And especially white people. But everybody has fun at Cancun. You got the private pool, and they go over by the pool, and they, high dive guy up there. And then you have the other ones that are a very low percentage that wants to see what Mexico is really about.
That's a mistake.
And they go experience the stuff.
Yeah.
So I was thrown into that. I'm not saying that I was that person to begin with.
No.
So I was forcefully thrown into that side of, hey, you deal with the real country, bud. Get after it. And I fell in love with that side so much that I won't go to Cancun or any of that. I can't go swim in other people's pee-pee, bud. And even if it's free drinks, because the rest of Mexico
Yeah.
pretty much has free drinks. When we're talking 10 pesos for a beer, which by the way, the exchange rate right now is 23 to 1. Let me help you. Math alert. Let
That's
me help
a cash
you.
value of peso.
Cash value. So if a lot more change. You get a lot more peso change for your change or
Right.
dollars from America. So you can get a lot for a little, or you can spend a lot at Cancun and get whatever you get, which is probably monkeypox and somebody else's pee-pee all over you.
Yeah.
But you got to be drunk and have fun with a lot of other people that are peeing in the pool. And if that's your thing, then Cancun is the place to go.
Oh, it's beautiful. I would recommend it.
Yeah. I've never been.
Yeah, I would recommend it, but I don't recommend leaving when you're there. I mean, get the trolley from your facility,
Right.
from the airport, straight there, and then you're going to get a lot of temptation because there's a lot of grifters
Oh, there's a lot
that
of
are
cool stuff.
wandering around and being like, hey, do you want to come look at this?
Yeah.
And it sounds great. No. Drink your drink and lay on the beach and don't move.
Go with them.
Don't go with them.
Go with everybody.
No.
If you're going to go to Cancun, here's my advice. Book a stay at the Cancun and never stay there. As soon as you land, because tickets are included,
That's a mistake, guy.
just the first person to ask you, do you want to go on a volcano tour, say yep and go. And
No.
experience it. You'll love it.
You won't. You'll hate it. You'll die. Or you'll be abducted. Most likely, you'll be abducted. Especially if you have any skills of any kind, whether it be beauty skills, manual labor skills, they'll use you.
Nunchuck skills,
Any kind of skill.
bow staff skills.
Yeah. We were pulled over on our trip from the Colombian
What?
military or some
Huh?
crap. Yeah, with all their, because they still have the old guns, like original machine guns. We shipped them after the war.
I don't-
Mexico and Colombia got
When
them.
you were in Cancun
Yeah,
and you got pulled over and what you was driving?
I was riding. I was riding
In a bus?
to look at a Mayan temple, and then these armed guards surrounded it, and then had to get out and look in there and ask questions to the leader. You know, the guy that took us from the hotel, who's just like, I don't know what he's saying to this guy. Could be anything. So we were stuck for about an hour with a bunch of AR-15s around us.
Yeah. That's why you don't go to Cancun, because
Yeah, it was fun. You know, that was exciting. And that's when I said, we're not doing any of this again. And, you know, I'm going to vote. I'm going to start
Yeah.
voting.
yeah, and I know a lot of people My sister just went to
Boca Raton.
the right
Oh, yeah.
Mexico, like the OG traditional Mexico, and hated it. She can't wait to get back on a cruise and set in people's pee-pee.
Yeah.
And I love her, and God bless her for doing that and going, because most people wouldn't. Most people would be like, nope, I'm gonna die, and they exit out right there. But my sister tried it and did not like it.
Well, it's a dusty Detroit,
She will not be back.
It's a
She will
dusty
not. She will
Detroit.
not go back to that. Now, will she cruise around Cancun and the Caribbeans
Sure.
and buy, 2-cent trinkets for $10? For sure, because that's set up for regular people.
Yeah. Regos.
Regos. And if you feel daring,
You shouldn't.
come with Mexico, and we'll go to Mexico, and we'll have a great time, a grand time, guaranteed. Now, will you see federales?
Sure.
For sure. You're going to see them. Are you going to see them maybe bust somebody in the town that we're in? Absolutely. Will you hear grenades going off and machine gun fire? Maybe, quite possibly. But will you have the best time of your life? Guaranteed.
Well, I don't know if that's true. That probably is the last part of what you said is probably the false part.
Oh, no. Not the false part, bud.
No, see, but you're the
Guaranteed.
guy that's going to do the mystery then. You know what I mean? You're the guy that's
I'm the
going to get
I'm-
the Uber and try to make fun out of this. It's like, just have fun. Sit in the pee, drink your drink, eat your quesadillas. There's a buffet of quesadillas right there.
Yeah.
And you're like, no, I got to go see what this is really about.
I got to go see the real deal. And
That's a mistake. That's like going to Bowlegs. Why don't you go there? You
Yeah.
know? Go to Bowlegs.
oh, and I did, and that's one of the best stories ever. And I'll tell you this: given the two choices, Mexico or Bowlegs, I'm going to Mexico. Bud, Bowlegs is it's filled with skitters. That's going to get
yeah.
you.
Mexico is too.
Mexico is filled
Yeah,
with very
but you-
nice people that have very little, but will give you anything they have because you're nice. They'll invite you in.
And
for-
the majority
for
of
dinner.
Bowlegs would say that.
Nope.
They'd say that. That's
but
what we
they-
are.
Yeah, but come in, they'd kill you.
That's what we are. Listen to
They
our...
would say, "Hey, I tell you what, I'll feed you if you just help me install this air conditioning in the side of my garage door." And you will. You'll pick up some sort of saw that you had in your truck, and you'll saw them a hole, and you'll get it all in there plugged in,
Yeah.
and it'll come on, and they'll be like, "Oh, this is awesome! Come in for dinner." Boom, you're dead. And they would drag you into that garage, and they would sell your skin.
Well, the thing about Bowlegs, Oklahoma is it's the only place I've ever heard a cover of a Garth Brooks song by Megadeth.
Yeah, there's a lot of that.
You
There's
know,
a lot of
to
that.
hear Keith Urban being covered by
If-
a hard rock death metal.
Now, if you're in the middle of Mexico, I'm going to tell you you're going to hear two things. Maybe three, if you're lucky. Number one,
you'll hear a child scream.
Michael Jackson. Number one.
Yeah.
Number two, anything by Queen. Dragon Attack. I mean, the whole album. Anything by the band Queen.
Or the band, The Band.
Number three, anything by Guns N' Roses.
Yep. Latino culture loves Guns
Number
N'
four,
Roses.
anything by Metallica.
That just came free on their phone. A lot of those phones got down there from U.S. Cellular.
There's your choices. If you like those things, you're going to love Mexico. I remember sitting on my veranda on my second floor of my rental house in Mexico, enjoying the sunshine, having probably an alcoholic drink, looking at my peppers, my teppan peppers that I've grown on the veranda of my little house, and then hearing Thriller
That's a good song.
in the air, getting
Yeah.
louder, and I saw this little Mexican guy in a 1972 VW convertible Bug cranking Michael Jackson's Thriller just out of nowhere, and I got a giggle, and I picked some peppers, and I went in and made some fresh salsa and had another alcoholic beverage. That was my day one day in Mexico. One day I was home, I heard a knock 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 on heaven's door right outside of my 8-wall security wall fence. So I went to my door, walked out of my house, walk down my path, say hello to my gardener, Manuel, looking good, open the outside door, and guess what was there?
A rooster.
Better. 2 fellas from Church of Latter-day Saints. We talked for 3 hours. I invited him for, a water.
Your dog found a moose bone,
I
bud.
saw that. I guess there's one less moose on the property. Anyway, I had a grand time.
It's funny you bring up MJ, dude, because I actually watched a little bit of a documentary about him last night, right before bed.
That's the 3rd show you must have just got in, got out, got in, got out.
I didn't spend much time.
Okay.
Once the wife went to sleep, I was like, there's no sense in me continuing watching this show.
Right.
And I didn't want to. It was still pretty early, like 10. Like, I'll watch. Usually I'll turn on a show to fall asleep to. It's Always Sunny or The Office or something, doesn't matter.
Smart.
But you get better REM sleep that way.
I don't think that's true.
But I turned on, they said it wasn't the This Is It documentary where they were talking about his final tour. This was a new...
We watched that together, didn't we?
Yeah, I think we watched that. A new documentary about Michael and the people around him in his last days as he's doing the tour, but more of the other side. Like, I'm doing the drugs to go to sleep side. That was this thing.
Now I'm in. Was this on Hulu too? Or?
Yeah, it's on Hulu also.
Nice.
And the problem is all of it. Nothing was shocking or
That's
surprising.
not true. You don't know exactly all the drug names.
Well,
unless...
that was interesting.
Uh-huh.
The first night that they documented like all the stuff that he was taking to go to bed.
750 milligrams of Adderall.
I think the night that he died, it was like, whatever the names are, they kept giving him 20 milligrams of this, 20 injections, and it was just an anesthesia to go to sleep. And he'd wake up every hour, and it's like, I got to give him, so they just keep shooting him up. But they got to where they showed the time.
Wait a minute, he woke up every hour?
Because he was just giving him a little,
so he could fall asleep?
But that's how he would go to sleep. He would want to go to sleep, so he'd want to be anesthetically put to sleep. So you're just out. And then he'd wake up, be like, where am I? I'm Michael Jackson. I need more. How long have I been out? They're like, 7 minutes, Mike.
Yeah, give me more.
He's like, oh, try again. And they kept trying, and they kept going through this thing. And finally, it's like 10:48 in the morning. So he's got a good night's rest. He's got his 8 hours.
Yeah, you're good.
He went to bed late, but
you're fine. Yeah,
got his 8 hours.
Late for him is 9:30.
And then at like 10:48, it's like 200 milligrams of propofol. Like, he really wanted to get a little bit more rest. So that was the last one they gave him. Then he died. But what's so funny is they showed some scenes of him getting ready for that tour, and that guy would shuffle around like an elderly. You know what I mean? Like, how when you see an elderly person walk and they don't know if the next step's going to be the last one? So each time it's a catch.
Yep.
It's not a distinct step. It's a fall and then catch yourself.
Yeah.
Fall and catch yourself. That's how Wacko Jacko was walking around the stage. And all the choreographers are like saying what they're doing and pointing out they're young, athletic, African-American gentlemen. They're like,
yeah,
I'm going to go, and he's like, he's got his he can't see anything.
No.
Shoulder pads, dressed like a damn, whatever, the guy that does
Scarecrow.
the bull thing,
Matador.
Matador. He's got his Matador uniform on.
Yeah.
And he's just... But then they'll cut to a scene where they'll start the song. That dude had a switch, man. He goes from can't walk
to
talk.
talk.
Then music comes on and he's doing all of his slides and all of his dancing and all of his stuff, not knowing where he's at,
Right.
not knowing what's going on.
Right.
In a complete, total fog. And then that song rehearsal's over. I'm tired, go to bed.
Shuffle back to his bed.
He walked like an 80-year-old, man.
Yeah.
It was nuts.
How old was Mike when he died?
He's like almost
50?
60. Yeah,
Oh, he's almost...
I think so.
Was he that old? 60?
Maybe you're right. Maybe in mid-50. Maybe 50.
I don't know.
Maybe 50.
Well, he was
I
super...
thought it was 54.
He was super popular through 60s, 70s with the Jackson
But he was
5.
five.
But he was 5.
Yeah.
And then he got real popular with Thriller, then Bad.
But then he went...
Thriller,
It had been 10 years.
Thriller, I think, came out in 85,
Yeah. Probably.
84.
Yeah.
It was early 80s when Thriller came out. Bad might have been in the 90s.
Mhm.
So he might have skipped
And then he did
damn
all
near
the
10 years.
surgery, and then he
Oh,
did
yeah.
something in like
That was after
the millennium
Bad.
or 2000.
Or right before Bad. He started all the surgeries when he got...
Then he took a break from like 2001, 2002, probably because of 9/11. Took a break for about 10 years
Yeah.
and was going to do this final tour. And when he released it, I think it's 50 dates. Hadn't done it for 10 years. 50 dates.
Sold out in a minute.
Yeah, there's over 1 million tickets sold out in under an hour or something. And then he started canceling them all because he's
Yeah, he's
high
sick.
on propofol.
Yeah. Well, I tell you this. I think that
But him hanging that baby over that rail
was great.
is.
wasn't it?
They showed that 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
He damn near dropped that little
For sure.
bastard.
Because he's
like, "Oh."
yeah, he's hyped up on
That
goofballs.
thing kicked.
And that baby was like 8 or 9 pounds.
He had a
That's-
bag over his
yeah,
head and his
Right.
hand.
Look at this. This is my new kid.
He hung its feet, and that thing, that baby just did that kick that
Uh-huh.
babies will do, and he barely got under it, and just like shuffled back into his mansion, like Igor or something.
Look what I made.
It was nuts.
Yeah, if that doesn't tell you that the world is over,
Yeah,
I don't know what is, dude. I mean, God bless him. A hell of a performer. I guess everybody wanted another Elvis or whatever, and we all know that Elvis was worthless and just a big fatty. And, now we got Michael Jackson that was weird, touched kids, got surgeries, almost killed his kid off a rail.
yeah,
And everybody's like, yeah, I wish he was still around. What? For
Yeah.
why? I mean, for what? Well, then you talk to his bandmate. Oh, he was the sweetest person. He was, he was so
Right.
gentle and sweetest person. He was one of my best friends in the whole wide world. He'd do anything for you. Dog, really?
Well, it goes into the same thing like the girlfriend show with What's happened is there's this shift where the suspect or the perpetrator or whatever it is
Yeah.
becomes the victim
Right.
of their thing, and that that overshadows what they did to the person that was the actual victim of the story.
Right.
So like in Michael's case, the victims are these children that supposedly did these things. I don't know.
Yeah.
But there's documentaries of them saying exactly what
Right.
happened.
Yeah.
And there's all these
Ruined
allegations.
Macaulay Culkin's life,
So there's so many allegations about all these different things.
Right.
And if they are true, there's still an excuse behind it, which is he didn't get to have a childhood.
Yeah.
And his childhood was so
Yeah, 'cause he-
fractured and damaged
Right.
and all this that's what his whole adult life was reliving.
Because he
And
was
it's like,
forced to perform and make millions of dollars.
and he was, and I will agree, he was.
He was. And that gives you the okay, the green light to touch kids. I mean, it does. It did.
It did.
For him. I mean, but I think there's a difference. Let's say that you were forced manual labor since you were 6.
Yeah.
If you snapped and did something crazy, you could say that.
Yeah.
And then come and interview me and say, yeah, well, he was basically forced labor since he was 6. So, I mean, he had a lot of physical, hard labor. But the difference between you and Michael is about $3 trillion.
Yeah. Well, that's another thing.
And then
that
you'd be in jail because
people don't
there's
talk
no
about.
excuse unless you have $1 trillion and you're in the limelight and everybody loves you.
But I could almost fall into the sympathy, because a lot of times in these stories, the other sympathetic character is the parents of the victims.
Oh,
and
yeah.
their story, which is like, we only made $13,000
Yeah.
a year.
Right.
I made 13, my spouse made 20.
And we had
We lived off
student debt. We had
33,000.
student loans,
And
too.
so when Michael Jackson asked us if our son, who was 7,
Yeah.
could go live with him on Neverland Ranch,
we said yes.
because our son really wanted that.
And we couldn't afford him anyway.
And it's that, to me, like the girls that went with Epstein, and they're all signed off by a parent.
Yeah.
They're all,
It's all legal. It's all up and up.
or the
I mean,
Scientology crap.
Yeah.
It's all signed off. They
Yeah.
say that, well, they forced me to disengage with my kid. No, they didn't.
Nope.
They asked you.
Right.
They sold you on it. They said that your daughter wants to be closer to God and that this is the way and all
We
this
have
stuff.
tennis lessons. She's a tennis player.
She's a
Come
tennis
over
star.
here.
They sold you on it,
Yeah.
but they didn't force you. You could
No.
have said, hey, you're not doing this. I'm not signing it. You live with me. When you're 18, you can go do it.
You can go do it.
But they don't. They say, oh, yeah, this is a
sounds
real
great.
opportunity.
Take
and they
my
give your kid
12-year-old.
away, and then guess what happens? You know,
Oops, all rape.
oops, all rape.
And then you say, hey, I didn't know he was going to do that. What?
Yes, you did.
You did know. You knew.
did.
You knew.
You know why? Because nobody ever offers that.
No.
Unless
you don't come out of the woodwork, even as Michael Jackson, and say, hey, I just want him to go on a roller coaster forever.
yeah.
That doesn't happen. Who are you?
So I could be in the unique situation where not only could I be a perpetrator that gets sympathy because of my childhood, but I
Yes.
could also be a parent that gives away a child
That's right.
and gets sympathy.
That's right.
Nice.
You gotta
I gotta leverage it.
you gotta learn how to
Whoa.
you gotta learn how to be a victim better, buddy.
Yeah, I know.
You gotta learn how to be a victim. And there's a lot of people out there like, how can those guys say that with a straight face? How can you give your child away?
Easy. It's a better. They wanted it. They're 9 years old and they wanted to learn tennis.
Or they wanted to go on the roller coaster. And I get it, but there's stranger danger, dudes. Like, there's stranger danger, and I get it. You're thinking, hey, Michael Jackson's got $1 trillion. He's got bodyguards. He's got people. If they see something, they're going to say something. They will not. They're getting paid. That's their meal ticket, dog. Like, what are they going to do? They're going to turn Michael Jackson in for touching your kid?
Yeah.
Who's your kid? What kid? That kid? When I'm losing my six-figure, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And all of the accoutrement that goes with me standing here, guarding this, roller coaster and pushing a button every now and then. I get 6 figures to do this, to hang out with Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say something because he touched your kid. You are way more faith in mankind than anybody should, because that's not going to happen.
What's so crazy about that stuff? Remember when we watched the Scientology thing with Leah Remini from King
Oh,
of
boy,
Queens?
do I.
All
She
she
has
did was
ch-
convince
she's chunked
me.
up, dude.
Yeah. All
Like,
that
I
did was
mean-
convince me that Scientology is where it's at.
Yeah.
My wife had not seen that, and so a few nights ago she had started watching it
Oh, did you watch it with her a
a
little bit?
little bit, and it kind of reminded me. It was just the beginning.
Did you say, oh, this is the good part?
What I don't understand, and what people seem to have forgotten, and whether it be with a cult or a religion, is if somebody or a group of people believe in something, they don't care how the outside world perceives their belief.
Yeah.
And that's the part that is irritating when you watch these things. Because in the case of Scientology, it's like, well, if you're not allowed to, one of the biggest weapons they have is they'll cut you off from your family. But they don't do that automatically.
No.
They do it when your family starts having questions about what you're doing.
Right.
And then they say, if you really believe in Scientology, you will not interact with that family member because they're against what we believe in. And if you believe in this, you're on a journey here. This is
Right.
what our journey is.
Right.
And so you can't be with that person. It's a negative thing. And people look at that like, that's horrible. It's like, that's what it is.
That's what it is.
So you believe, it's just like the stupid, if you think that the election was stolen and you
Right.
truly believe it, then you can't really be like, well, what are these people thinking?
Right.
They're thinking that it was stolen.
Right.
I mean, put that in your head and be like, that's what they truly believe.
That's what they truly believe.
And if they truly believe that, what are you thinking that you're going to... It's amazing that it stopped there,
Yeah.
you know? It's amazing that it's like, well, we can't believe that my dad's still inside. He believes it. He
Yeah.
totally believes it. He put 30 years into this thing. Yes, he's still in it. You know? He's created it. His little part of it. I just wish he'd get out. It's like, to do what? Then you get out, and their whole thing is, now our life's purpose is to knock down this one thing.
That we believed in for 30 years. Yeah.
Well, what's better?
Right.
You just jumped to a different purpose.
Right.
That then you're all in on. So it's kind
Yeah,
of
but
weird.
it's the right purpose.
Is it? Or were they right? Or ultimately, does it not matter? That's the part that nobody wants to
No one wants to do that.
hear.
Everybody's searching, and that's fine. And I love everybody for that. I'm searching too. We're all searching, but when you come to the realization that none of it's right, it's just what you think is, and that's my problem with today. society is everybody thinks they have a voice. You don't. You work at Wendy's,
Yeah.
and you are a manager at Carvana.
Well, it's just it's so strange.
So why does your why?
Yeah.
I mean, and I still don't understand. I don't, and I'm not saying you have to be Michael Jackson to be heard. I'm not saying you have to have a whole bunch of money, but you can't sit there and honestly say, "Hey, listen to me," but why? Like, what life choices have you done? Why are you someone to listen to?
Even if they're a 75-year-old guru that has done all this stuff.
Who?
You know what I mean? If you don't, you could be the 17-year-old that's working at Wendy's, and there's a 75-year-old sea orchard captain from Scientology that's in there,
Right.
and he wants to talk to you about maybe joining up. You can question it, but he has done this for 40. He's devoted his whole life to this one thing. Do you agree with what they do in that? I don't know.
Right.
But if you did, and then you're like, I buy in, I do agree with this. Can't be mad.
No.
All the outsiders, you don't have to. Nobody's forcing anybody to do this crap.
Right. You cannot get mad when they want to brand you.
Nobody's
You bought
forcing.
in.
You bought in.
So
And they're
get
like,
branded.
well, it's brain. All of it's everything is brainwash.
right.
All of it, even not being in it, is a brainwashing.
I can't believe they're doing that. I can't believe they're doing that and getting branded. That's crazy talk. I'm going to Walmart.
Yeah, which is a different form of brainwashing, man. So I don't know. When you watch those and you try to look at them try to watch it and be sympathetic to the organization. It doesn't matter which one you watch, which documentary about cult, but be sympathetic to the organization rather than what it's about, which is accusing them of all these.
Here's a good one. Watch Heaven's Gate.
Discretions.
That's a good one because they all thought that they all had to commit suicide and jump on the old comment.
See, but what's so funny is maybe they jumped on.
How
They
do you
did
know,
do
how
it.
you know they're not there? I mean, did you point your telescope to Haley's comment?
Because
Are
they're
they-
zipping around,
They may be
waving at
zipping
you.
around, waving at you.
They
Right now.
had New Balances on, or,
Exactly.
or Air Force Ones or whatever.
Yeah,
I don't know.
they're purple shrouds.
I agree that it's stupid, but I also understand that people are, if you're in Catholicism or Baptist, or you're just part of a different version,
Or you're
of,
in
and you follow it,
Yeah.
and you follow it.
Yeah,
Or if you're in a republic, if you're staunch, I'm seated in this political party. If you're that, you're just the same. You're
Yeah.
just a sheep following what other people tell you,
tell you.
into whatever burner they're taking you to. And everybody looks at it like,
well, it's group.
fine.
It's groupthink, and we have groupthink too. We're just a very small group telling you what to do. But believe me, when you say, "Hey, I just said, who the hell are you?"
Mhm.
We know that. We're two waterheads from nowhere trying to make you laugh. We're not trying to get you to do something. I mean, other than vote, because it's important.
Yes, vote, and if you want to join, I support it. Now, if you're my kid and you say I want to join, no, you don't get
Yeah, be 18 and then you can.
to. Yeah,
You know, if you want to go join X-Men when you're 18, you can
Go for it.
definitely do it, dude.
go for it.
That's what I told Rufus. He's not 18 yet. I don't think he's gonna make 18. Don't let him hear that.
No, he will. He's there in dog years.
Definitely there in dog years.
I don't know. It's a weird thing. It's a weird world. But
Well, luckily there's about 14 million online streaming services, not just Hulu, but we'll have lots more, to watch and talk to you about. For sure.
I can hit that with this stick to turn it off.
Turn it off.
Yeah. That's close.
I think it has to have the warmness of your thumb or
To
finger.
cut my thumb off.
If you threw your thumb at it after you just cut it off and do it, that'd be kind of cool.
All right. With that being said,
Hey, have an okay day.